And hi, welcome everyone to your Pilates class. Whether you're here live or watching the recording, I'm happy to have you join me in the Pilates workout. So we're doing the intermediate level today, and we'll start sitting upright. Legs can be bent, hands to the back of your thighs. Look straight ahead and lift your heart, lift up through your halo, and then look down as you begin a pelvic tuck to curve your low back down into the ground. We're going to roll back into your upper curl for hundreds, pulling the legs into your chest. You can use your arms here at the back of your legs to lift up a little higher, and then extend the legs out to your working level or leave them bent. Extend the arms forward, start to pump. Inhaling to move the arms up and down here, pumping actively here through your fingertips. You can see my assistant has arrived here. Jolie is again taking the class. And we're looking down the midline of the belly. Really try to press the legs together, squeeze them in wherever you can connect them. So it won't be the whole leg, right? We've got curves in the legs here, but press the edges of your feet together, maybe the edges of the knee. And even if there's any space that doesn't touch, imagine pushing them in towards each other. You're high here with the head. You're trying to have your neck as vertical as possible. Look down at your belly. You'll watch it inhale. You watch it expand as you inhale and watch it contract as you exhale. The reach long of the fingertips across the room helps pull the shoulder blades around towards the front of the chest. Maybe you can feel that little bit of the tip of your scapula. Try to pick yourself off of those and propel yourself forward. One more breath. And then to exhale to lower everything down, pull the knees in. Maybe if you want to circle the legs here from one side to the other, or rock your pelvis side to side. Get a little release in the back after holding the weight of your legs. We'll stretch the legs forward and the arms back. You lift the arms up and anchor the blades into the ground, then press the arms behind you without overarching the back so the ribs stay grounded. Lift the arms forward, coming up at the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale and lift through the ribs. Lengthen out through your heels if possible. Feet are flexed back, and then dive over your legs. Take a stretch. Bend the knees if you need to go down lower and lower to your thighs. And then we're going to roll back, staying low. So curl your way down. We can do it different ways. Sometimes we come up to a vertical position there and then roll it on down. And then reach the arms back, stretch here through the fingers to feel the length in your lats. And then we bring the arms up, lift up again. Exhale, push down into your legs as you come up. Suck the belly back into the spinal curve and then wrap the back of your body around the front of your body. You want to feel a good, healthy stretch in your back, in the back of your legs, especially your hamstrings, the back of your thighs. And on the way back, you can experiment with taking the arms a little higher for a little more load into the abdominals. You want to still maintain a steady pace here with the movement of your spine and feel like you're in control, that gravity is not in control, and momentum is not in control either. So you come up as slowly as you can. Think of lifting your back like you're peeling tape off a package. Coming over, the head hangs low, and the shoulders melt down behind you, drift towards your back. And then let's bring it back again. Again, try to vary the height of your arms. If you find yourself accelerating, the arms would lower. And if you find it's too easy, lift the arms higher. You get to set your appropriate frame for the exercise. One more. Exhale here, reach up through the head, lift and round your back. Stretch everything out. This lengthens the whole back line of your body. And then on the way back, as you unwind it, you get to really challenge the strength in your hip flexor, your psoas muscles next to your spine, and then also the abdominal wall helps release you down a little bit at a time. Circle the arms around at your side, and here we'll pull the right knee into your chest for single leg circles. You can use a TheraBand around your foot here if you wish. And then we lift the leg up to the ceiling, soft point through the foot, and circle. Inhale across the body. And then exhale, take the leg low, out to the side, and drag it on up. Reach again. Push the leg through the air. You're trying to draw the biggest circle possible without destabilizing your body on the ground. Your torso stays heavy, including the hip. Keep lengthening out through the foot and pressing down into the mat where you can. Now reverse. Out to the side, open wide, circle forward and around. Again, the size of the circle depends on your ability to keep your body steady on the mat here, not rocking it or lifting any part of the torso. You're still reaching long and out through the center of the sole of the foot. If you overpoint your foot, you may end up getting a little cramp in the foot. So try to think of reaching through the center, the third metatarsal here instead of the toes. Now lift the leg up. If you're holding the band, you'll take hold of the band in your right hand. If you're not, you may want to take your hand to support your leg as we bring that right leg out to the side. Maybe hold the left hip down here with your hand and rock that right leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away, giving yourself a nice, easy opening here through the right inner thigh muscles, and perhaps a stretch across the front of the pelvis. Exhale to lift the leg up. If you're holding the band, you would switch hands. So now the left hand is holding the band as you pull the leg across the body. Look out at your right hand. That stretches long across the room. And you can, if you don't have a band, you can pull that left leg down with your left hand, or give it a little support from underneath and push your leg into your hand. So either way, we're trying to get more of a stretch across the glute into this IT band area on the outer thigh, and then rotate that leg internally to increase the stretch you feel. You may also be feeling a stretch in your right pec as you keep dropping that right shoulder blade into the floor. Exhale, pull the hip down to lift the foot up to the ceiling. And then we can fold that knee in. If you had a band on it, take it off. And then we'll switch the legs and you can band the other foot now, or just go with a free leg. So you can pull the leg in first, put the band on it, extend the leg up to the ceiling, reach high here, soft point through the foot, and we circle across the body first always. The breath is an assistant here, which is why we start going across, because it's easier to stabilize the hip as you exhale and take the leg away from center. The inhale across the body is not as supportive a breath, but it's an easier movement to organize the body with. So keep reaching out through the foot, circle around, low and down. Remember, you rotate the leg on the socket here as you go. Let's do one more. The arms can actively press into the ground here. And at the top, let's reverse. The leg goes out to the side and you lower it down, drag it across, pick it up. And stay steady here on the mat. Feel like your body is glued to the surface. You're sinking down into it as the leg reaches and tries to lengthen and escape. One more. And we'll end with the leg up in the air. And now you can hold the band if you have one. Otherwise, we're just rotating the leg externally, taking it out to the side. Maybe support that leg with your hand here, the arm sort of like a kickstand on a bicycle, holding it up off the ground. You could rock it a little bit towards your armpit and away. And then we'll pick the leg straight up to the ceiling. You're using the inner thigh, the left side of the pelvic floor for that, and now cross the leg over. Extend your left arm out, look at your hand. Rotate the leg internally, spiral it down. The hip is up, the shoulder blade is not. And you can press down onto that thigh with your hand, or just pull it towards the right shoulder. Rotate the leg from the femur, from the thigh bone, to pull the knee and the toes down towards the floor more. And then exhale, the hip comes down, you lift the leg up, and then fold that knee in. If the band was on it, take the band off. And now we can roll forward and up for rolling like a ball. So maybe pick the other leg up, reach it to the ceiling, hands behind your left thigh, and we rock forward and up to sit at the front third of your mat, centering your body here. So there's room to roll. Pick up your feet, look down into your abs, elbows wide. And we lift the tail to start the movement back, roll your shoulder blade tips, and you change your breath to come forward. So it's inhale just at the base of the ribs, exhale now, and use that exhale to pull your body forward and up to balance point. And we rock. Now, in many of these exercises, we're looking for opposition. So you're really pushing the hands back into the shins and then pushing the shins out into the hands in order to firm up the muscles in your arms and feel a deeper connection, a deeper engagement to the abdominals, particularly the upper obliques. All right, and now from here, maybe scoot back a little bit. Just be sure you have room for your body on your mat. And we're taking the right hand to the right ankle, left hand to the right shin below the knee. To begin the ab series, stretch your left leg out and away, and you roll back slowly. Come down with your spine with control. Don't fall back. Keep pushing up with your hands into your leg. And now we look at the midline and we switch the legs. Inhale to stretch one leg forward and one leg deeply in, and exhale to switch. And you pull that in tight, but you're still pushing up with the shin into your hands. Again, feel how that gives you that feeling of connection into the shoulder girdle, into the upper abdominal wall. Elbows should be wide, a little lifted and forward. And you breathe deeply with each of these movements. Let's do one more set. Right leg in, left leg stretches out along the midline. Legs work here like pistons, reaching them forward. And then let's pull both legs back, double leg stretch, elbows elevated and forward again. So inhale, stretch the arms and legs up to the ceiling. Note the legs are together, the arms are apart. Exhale, as you circle the arms wide, you're already folding the legs in and embrace the legs. You've made yourself into a little ball. So you stretch out, hammock the body here, suspend from fingers and feet, and then pull everything in, embracing in, but not collapsing. So lift your head up, and then we reach, we stretch. The angle of your arms and your legs is dependent on your ability, right? You've got to be sure that you're not arching your back, you're not losing the work in your abdominal wall here. You reach to challenge that to get stronger without overwhelming it. One last one. Stretch away, and then exhale and embrace everything in. Right leg up, for scissors, left leg forward. Look down your midline, and we inhale to switch the leg and switch again. Try to reach up as high as you can towards your foot and pull the leg back as far as possible as the other one's reaching away. Ideally, we'd like to feel a stretch in the hamstring pulling back in, but not at the expense of overwhelming the knee. Be sure the stretch is healthy for you always, and your gaze is down at your navel. One more time. And then both legs lift, hands support the back of the head, pull the head up, the elbows down and in. Legs press together and you lower them forward. Feel the abs start to engage, but before the back arches, reverse your direction, exhale, and pick up the legs. So again, you'll get more work out of it if you do this slowly. If you do it too fast, you're just letting gravity pull you down, and then you can throw your legs up. So moving like this doesn't really help because you don't feel it in your core. You want to be sure that you're getting the lift up through your head, that you're squeezing the arms in a little bit. So you narrow in, you might feel the connection here under the armpit, your serratus into the external oblique. And then you drag the legs up high. Imagine sliding your feet across the ceiling and down the wall just enough to feel the abs really on maximum work. And then press out again. And then exhale and lift, go slowly, don't hurry. Feel the work as you move. And we twist to the right, coming up and around, and then to the left. Reach forward and up. You're not just going side to side. Try to keep your torso within the frame of your hips and your legs here. The legs shoot out straight out of the socket and then pull straight into each chest. Hands really support the back of the head. Let's do one more set here. A lot of times people feel a little burn in their abdominals, and that's a good thing. So pull the knees in tight here. And then let's stretch the legs forward and the arms back to stretch out that front line of your body that you just worked so hard. And from here, we'll roll up, lifting the arms, head, neck, shoulder, pull up, and then round over. Take a little dive here, stretch out your back, and then adjust your position on the mat, open the legs, hip width, feet flex, and arms forward for spine stretch. Press the arms down and lift up with your chest, lift up and out through your halo, not lifting your chin, but looking at the horizon. Just lift the horizon with your eyes. And now look down and dive forward, head first. Move the head and the neck without moving the shoulders, and then start moving the thoracic spine. That's the part where the ribs are. Diving up, over, and around in an arc, in a curve. Bend your body down here as if you're going to bring your forehead down between your knees, then press into your legs and articulate up. Now for all of these sitting exercises, if you can't sit vertical with your body, elevate your hips or bend your knees until you can. That way you'll get maximum mobility through your spine. It's just too frustrating if your hamstrings are tight and you're not elevating your hips. You'll barely move and you'll feel like you're in, wrapped up in irons here. And we want instead to have like nice mobility and flow through the movement so you can breathe and move and enjoy it. So inhale up and then exhale, look down. You sequence the spine from the top all the way down the spine. Curl the tail forward and pull the waist back, diving down. So it's not just hip flexion. We don't go like flat and try to pull the torso in between the legs, but we're coming down and then up in a little bit of an arc and a curve of your spine. One more, look down and round here. And this time when you're all the way over, hold on to whatever you can. Your legs, your feet. And then pull back with your waist, press forward with your heels, get as much stretch as you want. And then we'll stack the spine up and pull the heels to the tail or the tails to the heel, depending on what you need to do for your surroundings here. So open leg balance, rock back on your sacrum. The spine is curved, elbows are up and wide, edges of the feet together, and you look down at your belly. Inhale, extend the right leg up slowly, stretch it, hold your torso in the same position, and then exhale, pull that back. We're trying to keep the body stable and organized. Well, we challenge that organization by moving the leg. And of course, this is a great exercise to find length in the back of the leg, in the hamstring, but also stretch out your back. You might find if you're really tight in that back line, that when you extend the leg, your body falls backwards. And that's just a sign you haven't done anything wrong. It may just be that your muscles are not loose enough to pull the chest close into the leg and the leg close into the chest. One more for the left. Reach up and through the center of the foot, pull it on back. And now both legs rise here, lifting up, stretching, and fold them back in. We'll do that again. Reach up and out, and then still hold your body stable on your sacrum. One more to lift. Walk your hands up your leg. It is easier to just hold the hands at your thighs, and then we roll. You lift the tail to roll back to your shoulders, and exhale forward, watch out, kitty. And then let's roll back. And forward here. I know there are books on doing like the intermediate Pilates work with a newborn into a young infant. So they use the baby sometimes as like a weight for you. And sometimes you're just going around it and smiling at it, playing with it. But they say that the really even the very young infants start to learn the order of the exercises and understand when to move to be incorporated into the system. So I'm thinking maybe I should do the same with my cats. In any case, let's come here, close the legs, bring the arms up, reach out and long with the arms. So you're now in your teaser position, which will come in useful later. And then you can take your hands to your legs or leave your arms up in the air and work your spine down. Try not to move your feet. Try not to move your legs. Just move your spine down and lay down onto your back for a corkscrew. Just want to move over and center. So we're going to keep the legs lifted in the air, keep the hips grounded, and you circle the legs over to the right, circle down and to the left, around and lift to the ceiling, and then reverse. If you really keep the hips down, you'll find that the feet come a little uneven, right? Because they're set a few inches apart. So they're not going to be even if you're working to keep the pelvis grounded. There is another option that you can use for this, where you actually keep the feet together, like there's a book like glued to the top of the feet. And then as you go to the right, you would push the left hip up a little bit to keep that book level on the 2 feet. And then as you come around, both hips are grounded. And as you come to the left, the right hip lifts a little bit. So you're reaching out to keep the edges of your feet exactly in the same plane, and then bring it all back. So that's a little different feeling. You get a feeling of controlled lift through the pelvic halves. And it is very good for the obliques. It's just a different variation. So let's try that again. So as you take the legs to the right, slide that left foot a little bit forward. You'll feel the left hip come slightly off the ground. Circle it around. Keep pushing out through the right hip and right foot as the legs move over to the left. And then come back to center. The pelvis is level. The legs are level here. Once more, going from left to right. The rib cage and the shoulders still stay grounded, but you're getting a slight spiraling of that low back off and then back onto the mat. Good. Fold your knees in, hug them tight, and then roll forward up to sitting for soft. So legs extend out, arms reach out long to the side, press down with the arms and lift up through the chest. Rotate to the right, dive over and stretch the arms out long. Back arm lifts up behind you, reach away with the fingertips. Coming upright, center, and then spin to the left, dive over and lengthen again. Right hip is heavy onto the ground. We lift, center, and spin right. Ear to the knee, sit bones grounded, and twist, dive and stretch again. As you lift, keep the rotation, unwind, and spin one more set. Press the legs into the floor as you rise. Again, this might have been a place where you chose to sit on a yoga block or a cushion of some kind, a folded towel. Center and then lower the arms. The legs are together and we flip over onto our stomachs for swan. Forehead down, maybe lift it off the ground so you're sure you can breathe. Hands back by the chest at the armpit height. And then you pull back through the arms, you lengthen back through the legs. Lift up, shoulder blades pull together and drop, and then release your spine down. Going down here, lengthen the back of the neck as you look down towards the ground. Pull the chest forward, try to stretch the abdominal wall. As you lift up, the arms do push into the ground, but you're trying also to feel the work in your back lifting you, and then let the back release from the low back, through the waist, through the ribs, to the shoulders. One more, come up and we can do some rocking. So you pull the chest forward, you lift up, and then release the hands, push into the ground. The legs lift from the glutes. I stay up the whole time. And then forward onto your forearms. Single leg kick. Push the elbows down, pull the fists down, pull them back, and lift your chest through the frame here. And we kick the right heel in, pulse 1, 2, soft point with the foot. And the left, pulse 1, 2, stretching out the quad and opening the hip. We're going to definitely think that the pelvis is pushing firmly into the mat here. And you feel the stretch, the lift of the chest, the lift of the heart up and away, gives you a feeling of length in the abdominal wall. We've worked it a lot. It needs to stretch and as a release here. Each time you kick, you're trying to open up those hips, get a little more stretch here after sitting probably a lot in the morning, more than you wanted to. And now let's go on down onto your left cheek, turning your head to the right. Overlap your hands here on the back and let the elbows drop low. Take a deep breath in to prepare. As you exhale, 3 kicks with both legs. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Keep the pelvis heavy. Now stretch the legs out. Keep the feet grounded. Reach the arms back and low. As you lift your chest, you're centered. Your gaze is up. Your heart is forward and lifted. Going down, turn your head to the left. Elbows fall here. Overlap your hands on the base of your ribs. 3 beats. Feet down, reach up. Try to pull the arms together. Eventually, maybe you can pull the hands together or the thumbs together and lift a little higher and take it down looking right. And again, pump the air out of your lungs. Press down. Keep the shins as close to the floor as you can. Reach back here. Keep reaching back with the arms even as you descend and look left. And we pulse the air out 3 times with the legs. And down. Reach back and stretch. Try to pull the back ribs together and the back blades together as you open the front rib cage up. And down we go. Hands under the armpit. Sit back in your child's pose. Round your back, curve it. Hang your head down. Just breathe into your back here. And maybe walk your fingers forward along the mat. Or try to press the armpits into the ground. Then curl your tail under, stack your spine from the bottom to the top. Come up and flip over. We extend the legs forward and out. They're apart maybe 5 inches or so for neck pull. It's a great idea if you have them to use ankle weights here at your feet, at your ankles, at your shins. If you don't have them, just watch the range of motion that you choose. So we lift up and then we tip back with the spine, keep it in a plank. And then as you look down, you curl the tail up. You can pull the elbows forward. You can even extend the arms forward so your body rolls down with perfect form, with good control. And then to come up, Bring your fist into your hand. Lift your head, look down your midline. Exhale, push into the arms. As soon as you're up, bring your hands behind your head and then pull the neck forward, not down. That's really important. You don't want to put compression into your neck, into that cervical spine. And then articulate the spine bottom to top. We've done that before in your spine stretch. Here it is again. Then you lean back. You maintain the same natural curves of your spine here, no additional arch. And then round the back so you safely get down to the ground. And then let's switch the hand, one hand into the other. Lift to come up. It's like a ball and socket joint with your fist into the palm. And then dive over, take a deep bow. And then roll the spine up bottom to top. The back muscles lift you and the belly allows it. Go back again. We'll do this just one more time. Lean back. Roll yourself down as you reach out through the center of your feet. Bring your body to the ground and we lift. Last time here. Coming up. Exhale, push, and then pull. The head leads you up and over like an engine leads the rest of the train. Dive down between your knees. And then lift to come up. Last time down. When you feel like you're about to lose control, then you tuck and you go down to the ground. Arms at your side for bridge. Slide the legs in, feet just maybe 6 to 8 inches from your sits bones. And we press through the arms gently, flat palms on the floor. Begin with the pelvic tuck. You press your waist down as the tail starts to rise and lift. Slide the knees and the tail forward and out. Then try to reach for the wall in front of you. As you lift here, at the intermediate level, we push the top of the shoulders down and we roll slightly to the outside of the arms. So really lift the sternum and then find a little bit more lift through the glutes to open your hips up to the ceiling. Watch that your knees don't splay out. Try to keep them engaged and interested, parallel to each other. And now to roll out of it, roll a little to the inside of the arms. Feel your scapula slide sideways so you can move your spine down. Roll the spine down here, curve it all the way down, and then the tail settles down. You rock the pelvis into a neutral spine position. And then again, we begin pressing through the legs, shifting the weight to the upper back. As we lift the tail, the spine floats off the ground like someone picked up the end of a rope and then lifted it from one end with the other end still draped on the floor here. And now let's roll to the inner arms. Think of your sternum falling deep through your body into the spine to encourage the spine to lay down from the top to the base. At the end, when you roll over your sacrum and the tail starts to sink, you'll feel this rocking action here at your waist as the pelvic girdle moves. One more. You're going to be as fluid with your spine as possible. Come up, lift the chest, lift the glutes up, open the hips to their fullest extent. And then again, roll to the inner arm and down we go. We're going to just do one more and do some marching to start to build some strength into this back line lift. So begin with the pelvic tuck again. Think of dragging the heels back as you pull the legs forward. Come all the way up. Balance here. Your gaze is up and back so that you don't crunch your neck. Pick up your right knee. And then lower the foot down parallel to the other one. Pick up the left and lower that down. Try to think that you're picking up your right hip by lifting the knee up to the ceiling as much as you can. And then feel that support with your standing leg pushing down. And picture that free side of your body that doesn't have the support of a foot to the floor being cantilevered off the side that is supported. And one more for the left. Elevate the hips if they've dropped or drooped at all. And now start to roll down. Bend the spine, flow to the ground. And then we come up. You can pull one leg in, rock forward and up to sitting for spine twist. Again, another place where you might want to elevate your hips. Feet are together, flex the feet, reach the arms out to the side, reach long through the fingertips. Push down with the arms to lift up through the head, and we rotate to the right and pulse 1, 2, 3, lift to center, and then to the left. Bring out your waistline here. Center again and to the right. And then to the left. There should be no movement through your legs. And also watch that your arm doesn't swing forward, right? So you're not bringing yourself around by pulling the arm around in front of your body. You're swinging yourself around by moving your waistline. And again, when we're set to the right, center, and then to the left, last time. Back to center to lower the arms down. And from here, lay down onto your back for jackknife. If you're still new at this, you can always elevate your hips, put them on a roller, put them on some cushions, put them on a yoga block, whatever would help you. And then pull your knees into your chest, lift the feet up to the ceiling. Whether your hips are elevated or on the mat, you stretch the legs forward. Just give yourself a little bit of a reach forward. And then you push down into your arms, you come up. Initially, when you learn this, you start with the legs low, sort of parallel to the ground. And then you would bring the legs up, lift, and then you would bring them back down again. So I had to thread through my equipment here. And then bring this down, roll the spine down, really press into the arms so you feel that stretch, and also the work as you take the legs forward and the spine to the ground. I'm going to move forward a little bit more, so maybe I won't run into the equipment there. So let's do that again. So the easiest version is to go up and over low. It's not that easy. This is one of the hardest of the intermediate level exercises. And then you shoot the legs up as high as you can. You get the support from your glutes and your hamstrings. And then you bring the legs back down. And now really press and try to go as slowly as you can to build strength into your back as you come down here. And then press the legs out to what we call your working level, where you feel the work, but you don't feel that you're overworked. Now, as you advance the exercise, the legs start to go up higher, so they don't go so low. But as you lift, you push them up to the ceiling, you lift the hips and lift the legs. And then on the way down, you try to keep a more open hip angle. You still want an open throat to the ceiling. So you're looking up and slightly back, even as the legs disappear from view. You're looking back at that point where they were. And one more of these. The legs stretch out until you feel the work in your abs, supporting your spine, stable on the ground. And then you bring the legs up and you push in and lift up. And then bring it on down again. And once we're down, we're going to lay on the side and do a little bit of the clam series here. We did, I think, the full side kick series last time here. So it's on the last recording if you want to review that. Here for the clam, we have the knees bent and you're propped up on your bottom elbow unless it's too much for your neck, in which case, obviously, you can always lay your head down and maybe put a towel here to bring your head to the same level as the rest of your spine. Okay, now the most important thing here is you want to find the crease at your hip between your leg and your pelvis, and then go about 2.5, 3 inches maybe from the pubic symphysis, the center of the pubic bones, and dig your index finger into the crease right there. The reason we want that is we want to move from the hip socket, which is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches in. So you spiral the legs up, the edges of the feet stay together, and then you pull that leg under work from here. If you work from up here, you're going to rock your pelvis back and forth. If you work from where the actual joint is, you can keep the pelvis perpendicular to the floor as you rotate the leg, and you'll also get more work in your glute med, which is, the point of the exercise. Once you have that positioning, then you can just press your hand down into the ground, activating the arm to activate your abs, or you can even take both hands here behind your head and pull the skull away from your shoulders. Now, next time we lift the knee, we're going to extend the leg out, stretch it, bend the knee. The foot should go right back where you just took it from, and then lower it down. So you open, thigh stays still, straighten the leg, bend the knee, foot goes back, edge to edge, the clamshell closes, and we lift. Stretch it out, reach long, fold it here, and then close it down. Now, pick up the top leg as a unit, fire hydrant. You lift the leg and lower it down. So now there's no more hinge at the clamshell. The hinge is obviously here from your pelvis. And do one last one. Now, another option for this is you could just straighten the leg forward and reach out through the foot, pick the leg up there and bring it down. So the leg might be perpendicular to the body. Try to tap the ground. I'm off the edge of my machine, so it's continual work, so good for me. But you can lower your foot to the ground and lift it and bring it back. And then let's bend the knee, replace that down, and let's go over onto our stomachs here for some grasshopper. So overlap your hands, rest your forehead on the hands, legs in turnout, heels together, pick up the legs, and you clap. So you're trying to pick up the thighs and keep the quads working so the legs are as straight as possible. It's not leaning the knees down and then clapping the heels just from the lower leg, right? That doesn't give you any work in the butt at all. So we pick it up here and try to feel that work in the glute. You're going to actively need to press the pelvis into the floor here underneath you. And you might feel a lift of the belly. Try to drop your tail down. And then lower down, child's pose again. Pull back into the stretch. Stack your spine coming up, and we scoot to the other side. Clams again. So you stretch yourself out, and then slide the feet in. The feet are still, the heels in line with the tailbone, which pushes behind you. You can start with your hand here. Though it's a good idea to, again, find the joint, slide your hand along the crease here between leg and pelvis, index finger in to 2.5 inches from the pubic symphysis, and the edges of your feet together. Now we rotate the knee up and exhale and pull it down. So our goal is to keep the pelvic half stable. So we're not lifting the knee by rolling back off your sideline, but really very specifically working into the joint and getting the work into the glute and the outer hip and thigh where we want the work. So the leg spirals up and then pulls it back down. Could also try both hands here and try to reach the head away from your waist. Bring that up, pull it down. And one more. Next time we lift, you go into leg extension. So extend the knee, bend the knee, flex there. And then when the feet are together, close the knee. So you open, reach up and out, fold, and close. Again, the hip stays stable, the leg is moving. It's good, good work. Nothing like targeting the muscle by working functionally with awareness of where the joints are and what the muscles do. Sometimes choreography is kind of randomly executed. That doesn't work you as hard. Now, fire hydrant, lift the whole leg up as a unit and pull it down. The knee stays bent. And you're still opening the hip from that same spot, right? As one end of a bone goes up, the other end drives down. Kind of picture the thigh here as a seesaw. So as the knee rises, the femur head rolls deep and down into the socket. And one more here. And then we're going to pull the leg forward, flex the foot, or soft point, whatever you prefer, lower and lift the leg. Keep it in the same plane, ideally, sort of perpendicular to your body. Ow, I'm feeling that. Try to go slowly and not rush through it, even though you want to. I know I do. Let's do one more. And then stretch it out, bend the knee, and lower the leg down. Good. Now from here, we're going to be on our backs and do a little bit of the teaser work. So if this is new for you, you're better off to start from the top, right? So you could start from the top here. For women, toes at eye level. For men, the legs a little lower. And then with your hands to the back of your legs, you can curl the tail up, push the legs away, and go as far down as you want, and then lift again. If you've been doing this for a while, you can go all the way to the ground and maybe have the hands free. You want your heels to land when your shoulders and then your head do. Arms come down to the side, and then to lift from here or repeat the earlier version. You slide the arms forward, look at your toes, pick up your toes from underneath, from deep in the core, and come up to the teaser position we practiced earlier. And then you curl the tail up. You have to do that first to protect your spine. Push the legs out. And the last thing is come out of your upper arm curl. So coming up, look down your midline, squeeze the arms in and along the side of your body to lift here. And then we press it away. Shoot the legs long out and away from you to roll down with your spine. One more. Do whichever version is best for your body right now. And then we're going to reach out and down like so. Transitioning to hip circles, we do come up one last time and then circle the arms behind us, or you could just prop yourself up on your elbows if you're out of steam. So we're going to lift, if you want to, the arms circle back. Easiest to slide back on your elbows, lift your legs in the air, maybe bend your knees, and try to pull your waist back so you get some tractioning here through your sacrum. And then you circle to the right, exhale around to the left, lift the legs up to the ceiling and reverse the circles going left, exhale around to the right, the feet rise again, center, to the right again. Good news, there's only 3 sets of these. We have 1 more set to go. You should definitely be feeling this in your obliques and not just collapsing your chest down. So try to lift your head. Oh, I lost my position of my legs while I was talking. And so you want to really lift up through your head and push down into the mat with your arms and try to suck your belly back to the space behind you so that you feel that you're active here and not just like resting and like kind of drooping and dropping into the ground. There's none of that in Pilates, you may have noticed. All right, so now flipping over onto your stomach for swimming. You reach long through your body, and a nice way to get into it is to pull back through your lats, start to lift the chest up. You can support yourself from your hands on the ground and do the little flutter kicks with your legs, up and down. I think that's flutter. And then you can try lifting one arm and then press it down, lift the other arm and press it down. Try to feel like you're really working into abdominal lengthening. So you get that upper back extension in your spine here. And then we stretch everything out and lower down. Press into your arms. Sit back in your child's pose again. Round your back in opposition. Stack your spine coming upright. And we end with seal. So you take your hands, take them through your legs, wrap your hands around your ankles, lift your feet as you rock back, curl the tail up, and do an upper up curl so your spine is in a C curve. We open and close the legs, clapping 3 times as you exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale to roll back. Do not go on your neck. Balance on your shoulders, and you clap 3 times there. And then you come forward to clap. Open and close the legs. Be sure that you're not just opening and closing the feet. You want to move the thighs to get the foot clap. Just like rolling like a ball, it's an inhale to go back, suspend, exhale to come forward and clap, and one last time. And clap again. And that's our session for today. Thank you so much. Great job. If you have questions, please hang out and ask. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, and have a great day. Take care.